Greetings and solidarity from Caracas, Venezuela. My name is Alison Bodine, and I am coordinator of Fire This Time Movement for Social Justice Venezuela Solidarity Campaign and a member of the Venezuela Solidarity Network. Today, I am joining you as one of more than 300 international election observers who were invited to Venezuela for the legislative and regional elections that took place this past Sunday. Together, we represented over 80 countries invited to directly observe Venezuela's democracy in action.
On May 25th, the people of Venezuela voted to continue with the Bolivarian revolutionary process by a great majority. The United Socialist Party achieved 23 of 24 governor positions and 82% of the votes in the National Assembly. This election was a great victory for the Bolivarian revolutionary process, the people of Venezuela, and poor, working, and oppressed people around the world. As an observer, I visited 3 voting centers in central Caracas. I observed a process that was free, fair, and transparent. What follows is a video that I made the day of describing the process of voting. So now we're here in a voting center in El Valle, in one of the voting rooms in which people have already figured out through their identification card which voting table that they needed to go to today. We can see the first step of the process, which is a voter verification by comparing the person's identification card and their thumbprint. After their identity is verified, the machine unlocks behind the cardboard divider, and people are able to have a secure and private vote. Then a paper copy is also printed of their vote, which they deposit, as this woman is doing here, in the box. And then they sign and verify that they have voted on a registry. So following the voting today, these electronic records will be compared against the paper records in audits that will take place over the next period. But this is the process that people go through in a room. We also have in this room, and everyone has the right, all political coalitions have the right to have an observer. So the woman behind me here is one of the witnesses observing the voting process on behalf of one of the political coalitions participating in today's election. Following the voting, at the close of the day, the electronic records and paper ballots are verified and compared against each other. This process is done openly, with scrutineers from all political coalitions invited to observe the counting, as well as the public. The verified results are then transmitted to the National Electoral Council. Further audits of the electoral system continue in the days following the election. At each of the voting centers I visited, I spoke with voters about their impression of the voting process itself. All of them expressed confidence in the voting process, as well as an excitement and commitment to express their democratic right to vote. This included both pro-revolution and opposition voters. Even the opposition voters saw the electoral process as the way to bring a counter-revolutionary change to Venezuela, which is in contrast to the U.S.-backed right-wing opposition that resorts to violent sabotage and attempted coups. This faction of the opposition boycotted the May 25th election. It is critical that we keep in mind that the May 25th election in Venezuela took place under continued sanctions and attacks from the United States and imperialism. The Trump administration's policy is a maximum pressure campaign of attacks on people in Venezuela and Venezuelan migrants in the United States. The PSUV, or United Party for Socialism, governing party in Venezuela's slogan for this election was Gente que Resuelve, or people that resolve. And with the election, they've dealt another blow to the continuing attempts by the United States to overthrow President Nicolas Maduro and the Bolivarian revolutionary process in order to overthrow the great gains made by poor, working, and oppressed people in Venezuela over the last 26 years. In this sense, with this great victory for the Bolivarian revolutionary process, Venezuelans have resolved to continue to defend their sovereignty and self-determination. As President Maduro said at a rally I attended where the election results were announced, "This victory belongs to the noble people of Venezuela, to you, ordinary men and women. I congratulate you for all of your tremendous effort. After blockades, criminal sanctions, fascism, and violence, the Bolivarian Revolution has proven itself stronger and more relevant than ever.
The United States did not want to see yet another free and fair election in Venezuela, but the people of Venezuela have won yet again. Defending Venezuela is a central task for anti-imperialists and anyone who believes that a better and just world is not only necessary, but possible. We must see with clarity that standing for Venezuela's sovereignty and self-determination is the critical point for revolution and counter-revolution in Latin America. Anyone who believes that defeating imperialism in Latin America is an essential task will support and should support Venezuela. Let's redouble our efforts and raise our voices for hands-off Venezuela with more determination and more unity than ever before. Venceremos.